Good morning, sunshines! Happy Monday, the 16th of August. How are you? I am doing pretty good. We started watching Ponyo last night, and so we finished watching it this morning. And I feel like today's going to be a Studio Ghibli marathon day.
Yes.
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 The boy child says yes.
Yes.
So I'm pretty excited. But with the caveat that in between every movie, we have to do things. Because chores and schoolwork and, summer schoolwork and stuff need to get done. But that is our plan. I did not walk this morning. I will walk this evening. I was too tired to get out of bed. I really thought about it, and then I was like, no, I can't. Hello there.
Hi.
My rotation for movies today. If you're new here, I have a really hard time focusing on things. So I work in a rotation usually throughout the day. So my rotation is a couple rows on this design, a couple rounds on these. These are going to be hexapuffs. Was that a little fuzzy? Yep. I want to cast on the second monkey sock, but I don't necessarily need to work on it. I just want it to be cast on, so if I want to work on it, I can. A couple rows on this design, some work on this blanket, and then 100 stitches on this blanket, and then repeat the rotation. If I work more on one project during the time, that's fine. Like if I pick up the monkey sock and cast on and then decide I want to do the cuff and then just keep working on it all day, that's fine. But I want to make sure that all of these projects get work on them eventually. So the rotation works really well for me because then I only have to do that much on a project, like this blanket. I only have to do 100 stitches at a time, which is not a row across, but it gets it done more quickly. I was a little worried when I looked at the yarn yesterday and I was like, oh no, I'm so close to running out. And hello dog, hello child. Quiet, I'm recording. I looked at this and I was like, oh no, that's not a lot of yarn. I mean, probably enough to get me through this section that I'm working on right now. I think I have 8 more rows to go on this before I connect it to the next panel, but that's not enough to connect all of the other pieces. And I knew I had bought a second skein of this. This is by La Jolla in the Pebble colorway, and I couldn't find it, and I couldn't find it, and I couldn't find it, and then this morning it struck me where it was. So I have this whole other cake that I can use. I'm hoping that these two are enough to finish the blanket because we don't have more of this colorway at work, and I'm not sure when we're ordering this yarn again. But we'll see. I'm not going to worry about it until I have to worry about it. It just means I might be changing my original border plan, which is fine. Hello, sunshines. It's Monday evening, and we are in the yarn shop. It's raining outside, so my hair is doing all sorts of things. Whatever. This is not a hair podcast, so you probably don't really care that much that I look a little wackadoo. Anyway, I wanted to chat with you about some things. I know I showed this morning my rotation of projects, which I did throughout the day. We ended up watching Kiki's Delivery Service after Ponyo, and then we watched The Little Mermaid, which is not a Ghibli movie, but that's what Gabriel and Mara decided they could watch. And then after that, Gabriel started watching The Little Mermaid 2, and then he left. So then Mara started watching The Little Mermaid live musical. And then when I left, she was watching The Little Mermaid TV show. So that's how my movie day went with my kids. I finished this morning. Oh, wait, we were talking about the rotation and how this all fits in. Okay, so I was telling you about the rotation, but I didn't tell you about the yarn that I was using for things. So even though I'm not showing you designs, I can still tell you the yarn. So this is from Fangirl Fibers or Fangirl Yarn. I don't remember, but I will, I'm using this with a set of minis, so I'll put that right there so you can see a picture of what it's called. It's just a really beautiful gray, so that is going with minis in a design. I'm also working with, oh, I didn't bring the other color, Molly Girl yarns, so this is with that gray color. Let's see if I can smoosh this so you can kind of see gray and the blue together. Really, really pretty. I'm excited about both of these designs. And then what I am planning on working on today in class is Thelonious by Cookie A. I haven't picked it up. I did cast on the second monkey sock and then I put it down because I really want to get Thelonious done. Partially because the Serenity podcast is holding a knit along and I believe it ends at the end of August, and this will get me more points than monkey will get me. So finish this first and then monkey and then maybe some other things. So yeah, this is where I am in Thelonious. I am in the middle of the second section, I think. No, there's a cuff and then there's one section, and so I may have started the third section. I don't know how far I am in it. I haven't looked in a few days. This is where I was last week when you saw it last. So I'm gonna move this up. I know, riveting footage. So this yarn is Penguin Soup. It is the Apple of Josh's Eye Loch Ness colorway. And it decided it wanted to make itself a little bit of a mess in my bag. That's fine. I don't have anything in project bags right now because I just don't. Everything just sits on a table next to my bed and then gets put in my purse. I want to put them in project bags. I just haven't taken that step yet. Maybe tomorrow, that's a thing I can add to my list. Also, I made myself a really, really long to-do list, and I did everything on my to-do list. I made it yesterday. I did everything on my to-do list except go grocery shopping and go to the library, because those are things that would have required me to have the vehicle today, and Patrick took it with him to work, and I didn't drop him off. I couldn't get out of bed to drive him in. So my original thought yesterday was that we would leave the house a couple hours before we had to pick him up, go to the library. I have some things to return. I have some things on hold, and then go grocery shopping as we're waiting for him to come out. Obviously that didn't happen, so that is on the docket for tomorrow. Super exciting, I know. But let's talk about books. So good job me being super productive. My ADHD is like so much right now. So much. I'm pretty sure it's because I'm in limbo between the structure of summer school and going back to work for staff PD. So I have 2 weeks of limbo time, and I don't think my brain can handle it, which is why last week was so like random and half thoughty, and this week is probably going to be the same. But this week is at least going to have a fun adventure later. I'm super excited. So let's talk about what I'm reading. I finished Black Box by Shiori Ito, which it's definitely worth the read. It's translated from Japanese by Allison Marin Powell. And it definitely reads like a translation. Some parts are just a little clunky because obviously not all phrases translate exactly. So it's a little clunky, but very worthwhile to read. I didn't enjoy reading it because of the subject matter. Because it's about Shiori Ito, who was raped, although so it was kind of weird reading this as an American, right? Because like there's a lot of discussion about rape culture, and there has been for a long time, and like fighting against that and standing up to it, and Japan is just not there yet. So like their definition, this happened to her not very long ago. 2017 is when she was raped, and then there's an epilogue of the book that she wrote earlier this year, and things really haven't changed that much for like it's still hard in America to prosecute rapists, because the person who has been raped has to like go through so much to prove that they've been raped. But in Japan it's even harder, so it was really hard to read, but very worthwhile. Yeah, I mean, so content warning, she talks about her experience being raped. She talks about being gaslit. She talks about being gaslit by the police, by the media. She talks about she has a really good support system in her friends, so at least there's that. But she talks about like how everything negatively impacted her family. So yeah, it was emotionally a difficult read, but not like it wasn't hard to read like intellectually, I guess. I recommend it if you can handle those content warnings, and if you can't, that's okay. Not everybody is in that place in their life. So the other book that I'm actively reading, because I'm still reading The Cutting Season by Attica Locke. That is what I'm reading for book club, and it's so good that I just want to read it all right now. But then I'll forget the specific things for book discussion, so I'm not going to. But that book is so good so far. I'll let you know if it turns out disappointing, but it's so good. It's did I talk about this? So it's a thriller. There was a murder on a plantation that is now like, it's still got the plantation house and the cabins, the enslaved people's homes, but it's set in like 2005. It's not super current, but it's after the year 2000. And they have like the plantation has a group of players who put on a production about what plantation life was like and how this particular plantation came to be. And then there are tours, and it's just like one of those historical places where people have weddings and parties and stuff. I don't get it. I wouldn't want to have my wedding on a plantation. But anyway, right next door to that plantation house, it's not an active plantation. They don't grow anything there. Right next to it is the sugarcane field, which was probably, I think they said at the beginning that it had been part of that property at one point, but now it belongs to this company. And they have migrant workers, and one of the workers is murdered. So you find that out right at the beginning. I'm not spoiling anything. This is all chapter 1. So it is the story of trying to figure out who murdered this woman. Her first name is Inez. I think it's Inez Evelo. The main character is Karen. And her great grandfather, that might not be the right number of greats, was an enslaved person on the plantation. So her family has been there forever. Her mom used to work as the cook in the kitchen. And then she left for a while, but then she came back. So it's all very family history to her. She and her daughter live there, and it's just, it's really, really good. Highly recommend. The other book that I'm actively reading, I had to put down for a few days because this book makes me super uncomfortable. So this is Want to Go Private by Sarah Darer Littman, and it is a young adult book. The main character is just starting high school. She's a freshman, and so as happens in high school, she and her best friend, they kind of, as can happen in high school. I know it happened to me. My middle school friends were not my middle school best friends were not my high school best friends. Not like we didn't talk to each other, not like we were like, I don't like you, but we grew separate, So that kind of happens, and she meets, there's an online thing for teens, like a hangout thing, and you make avatars and stuff, and she and her friend had played on that together, and then she meets this guy on there, and pretty early on, they exchange ages, and he says he's 27. She later finds on his profile that he's 28, and she's 14, and he starts flirting with her. This is stuff that happens later on in the book, but I really feel like I'm not giving anything away. I feel like from the title, Want to Go Private, you know that some shady stuff is going to go on. So they have this relationship, and content warning, it goes pretty, so it's not super graphic yet. I'm this far in. It's not super graphic, but the relationship escalates from the first couple conversations just chatting to him being like, hey, send me topless pictures, to then they're cybering on video camera a 14-year-old girl and a 27-year-old man. It's horrific. It's especially terrifying because I monitor what my kids do on their computers, but I know that when I'm at school, I'm not when I was at the school during the day and Patrick was at work, we weren't monitoring what they were doing online. And I hope my kids don't get themselves in this situation. But it really, really stresses me out, and it freaks me out. And plus, we're getting our son a cell phone for his birthday, which is in a couple weeks. Why is my child so old? He's going to be 13 in 3 weeks. Ugh, when did he get so old? So yeah, he's going to have a phone, and so that stresses me out, and it's just so I'm reading this book because my sister gave it to me. She recommended it.
well, she was like, here, I read this. You should read this. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And I'm going to read it. And I'm really torn between like not reading it very quickly because it's just going to gross me out. And I'm really, really scared for the main character. Like, she told him her address. So I'm really scared for her. But I feel like I need to finish it. I don't know why I feel like I need to finish it, but I do. I know why. I know why. It's because I get attached to book characters. And if I were to, and I'm attached to the main character in the story, I care about what's going to happen to her. And if I don't finish this book, if I'm like, nope, it's too much, I'm going to DNF it, I'm literally going to wonder about what happened to her for years. So, I'm going to read it. I think that I'm probably just going to read it very quickly because it stresses me out. Yeah. So, I don't think that I'm going to recommend this book. I'm going to put it out there that that's what it is, but yeah, it's just, I'm really, really afraid for the main character. It makes all of my parentalness like freak out. Plus, it makes my high school self be like, oh my gosh, I wish your best friend was right there. I wish you guys were as close as you had been so she could be like, what are you doing? Yeah. So that's where I'm at reading wise. I am going to get ready for class now. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye.
Hi, sunshines! We're going on an evening walk. Isn't he so cute? So cute. I'm gonna spin some. We're gonna do Pokemon things and talk about our days since we haven't seen each other since 7 a.m. I mean, for like 15 minutes in between him getting home from work and me going to teach, but I get to hang out with him. I'm so excited. Hello, friends. It has been a not super productive morning because I finished this book this morning. That is what I did. And y'all. So, spoiler alert. If you're going to read Want to Go Private, I am going to talk about it now. And there will be spoilers. And if you don't want to know where the spoilers are, go to this time in the video right here. Okay, so it was terrifying. And I thought that it might be like one of those books like The Lovely Bones where you start by following the character and then you're not following the character anymore, you're following her ghost. Or you start by following the main character and then you just follow everybody in her sphere because she never resurfaces. And it was not one of those. They did find her. I don't know that she went with the guy. Like, she got in a car with the guy. And she was missing for days. And he did terrible things to her. And yeah, it was just so terrifying. So, personally, don't recommend. Because, holy crap, content. But I finished it. So now I'm officially finished with all of the books that I set on my my to-read list at the beginning of the summer. I had 11 books. 11 books on my original list. And I finished this book during the summer, but early on. This book being Spin the Dawn. So my original 11 were pinned by Sharon G. Flake, stamped by Jason Reynolds and Ibram X. Kendi. One Good Night, Fortune's Fool, The Snow Queen, Sleeping Beauty, and Beauty and the Werewolf by Mercedes Lackey. Those are all books out of the 500 Kingdoms series. Tears We Cannot Stop by Michael Eric Dyson, Want to Go Private by Sarah Darer Littman, How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House by Cherie Jones, and Unravel the Dusk by Elizabeth Lim. And then I also read Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. And then throughout the summer, I added some fiction books. The Rib King by Ladie Hubbard, Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline, The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Solja, and The Cutting Season by Attica Locke. I also added some nonfiction books. Happiness Becomes You by Tina Turner, The Black Box by Shiori Ito, and I listened to Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. So now I'm going a little crazy. I have 2.5 weeks left of summer break, but 2 of those weeks are PD weeks. Instead of making myself a realistic goal, oh, maybe I'll read a couple more books. No. I have 2 books that I'm currently reading. I'm reading The Cutting Season and Sure I'll Be Your Black Friend. And then I have 3 fiction books to possibly read, 3 audiobooks to listen to, and 2 additional nonfiction books that I've added to my cube. I know that I'm going to finish the 2 books that I'm already reading. I really think I can get through the 3 fiction books because the Alyssa Cole book I really like Alyssa Cole's romance books, so I will likely blow through that really quickly, read the whole thing super, super quick. The Becky Albertalli book, Love Creekwood, it's just a novella, and I'm going to start that right now. I actually read a couple pages at the library while I was waiting for Mara to get something to check out. It's only 111 pages. I'm pretty sure I'm going to read that today. And then Muted is written in poetry form. So even though it's a thick book, it's not a lot of words. So I think it's totally realistic to plan to finish all 3 of those books in the next 2 weeks. If I listen to the audiobooks at all, I can finish them in 2.5 weeks. And I don't know about the nonfiction books. The 2 additional nonfiction books, we'll see how that goes. But I'd really like to clear that whole cube in 2.5 weeks. I don't know that that's realistic. Wish me luck! So that was an afternoon well spent. Oh my gosh, this book is so good. And it's written in emails. I don't remember what that type of book is called because I never remember what that type of book is called, but it's a story told through emails, and the emails come mostly through 4 characters: Simon, Bram, Leah, and Abby, who, if you read the Simon verse by Becky Albertalli, will be familiar names. But there's also a couple moments where their friends, Nick, Garrett, and Taylor, each say 1 or 2 emails or texts. No emails. There's no texting. They reference texting in here. But yeah, it was just so good and just a little, just sweet. It's freshman year of college, and Abby and Leah live together, and Simon and Bram do not live together. They are 117 and a half miles away from each other at separate colleges, and just the whole story of what that's like. And it was just so good. So good. And now it's over. Okay. It's Tuesday. I'm going to go clean a box in the basement. Hey friends, it is Tuesday evening. I am going for a walk now because I haven't today. So yeah, I'm going to go for a walk before I go pick up Patrick from work. And I'm going to work on spinning. I have just a little bit of that fiber that I showed you last time. And I'm going to start on this. This is my last little bit for this ply. So I'm almost done with the first ply of the monster skein. How exciting. I have probably a third of my walk to go. I'm going to go ahead and start this fiber. Hello, sunshines! Mara and I are in the parking lot waiting for Patrick. I can't show you what I'm knitting on because it's a design. But I also brought muted, so I'm going to start muted right now. Hi. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah.
What?
I want to sing you guys a song.
Okay, we'll see. What is the song?
If you're happy,
No.
Oh, clap your hands.
Oh, I see
If
how you
you're
changed
happy,
it.
yeah, you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy, yeah, you know it. If you really want to show it. If you're happy, yeah, you know it, clap your hands.
So this is pretty rude. Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. I am walking to the school because I'm either going to be handing things out to parents as they drop off forms, or I'm going to be manning the phones. I don't know which. So I'm walking because why not? And then I'm going to meet my kids at the farmer's market after this school event. I am working on a design, so I'm not going to show it to you. It's using the gray fangirl yarns. So I'm also listening to Canterbury Tales. Hey sunshines, sitting outside the art center. Everybody else is at the farmer's market that's in downtown. Patrick's picking up peaches for me, seeing if the guy has peaches. I don't know what he has. Mara just walked to the chocolate shop by herself to get some ice cream, and she's on her way back right now. And Gabriel is buying all the everything that he can buy for $10. Probably cucumbers and honey. What kind of ice cream did you get?
Chocolate.
Is it delicious?
Say. Say means yes in Spanish.
Sí. Sí means yes in Spanish. We have stopped at Holiday Market because Patrick saw it and he was like, oh my gosh, what is that? I want to go see. So he is inside. I am sitting in the car with a co-host. It's a snake! Ah! This is what Gabriel decided he needed to do with his money at the zoo. So Did you guys have fun at the zoo?
Yes. Say.
Good. I'm glad you had fun.
I spent all my phone time recording.
He spent all of he gets 3 hours of phone time a day. Friends, he has a phone. He got a phone yesterday.
Yes.
I'm not ready for this. Not ready for this, but okay. After the zoo, we went to City Ramen in downtown Royal Oak. So good. The portion sizes are huge though. Like ridiculously huge. So we are all bringing home like half or more than half of our ramen. And then we jumped into Astoria because it was right across the street. And if you're in downtown Royal Oak, like you should probably stop by Astoria and grab yourself a pastry. What did I get? Raspberry cheesecake. That's what I'm gonna have later. And a iced chai that I'm going to have now because I have a headache from being in the sun for several hours this morning. It was a really good trip. We were at the zoo for like 5 hours. Yep, 5 hours. We saw all the everything that was open. It was a good time. I had fun. Now I'm gonna knit and read.
Really cool grocery store.
Yeah?
Yes.
What's in there?
Everything.
Tell the people.
Everything's in there. Just about everything, and how it is it's got a lot, okay? But it also has a good amount of control, okay? Of not too much, but just enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a barbecue area and everything like that. Whole seafood section, like all kinds. Meat department, and then they have a smokeout department. Then they have a bakery department that you see everything what goes on in there. Everything.
Hey, Papa.
It's just amazing store.
Good morning, friends. I am walking into work today. It's Friday, the 20th, I think, of August. And Patrick took the car. I figured it would be easier if I just walked in. I don't know how long I'm going to be at work today. I mean, definitely I could have dropped him off and then picked him up, but I didn't want to do all that driving. So instead, walking to work. And I'm walking with the boy child. He is up there on. So we're walking. He got a phone 2 days ago. And this morning he installed Pokemon Go. So we are Pokemoning together, kind of, this morning. I'm going to show him where some gyms and stuff are. So yeah, good morning. I am taking with me my monkey sock. I did not get very far yesterday at the zoo, but that's okay. I have 2.5 pattern repeats, maybe. So maybe I'll get work on that. Maybe I won't. Who knows? I'll check in with you in a bit. Bye. Fail. I left my breakfast at home. I did manage to braid my hair though while I was walking. So good job that. I can't believe it. I was gonna bring a cannoli. And Gabriel says he can't find it. I left it on the edge of my bed. That means Molly probably ate it. That's what I get. Good morning, sunshines. It's Saturday, and I'm out with this kiddo Pokemoning in the park. It's so foggy
And beautiful.
Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So, how do you like Pokemon so far?
It's cool.
Alright, friends, I'm at the yarn shop early having what is this called? Michigan pothole ice cream for breakfast. Breakfast of champions. And I am here early because I want to wind a bunch of stuff. This is right here Advent stuff. This is Advent stuff. These are minis for a design. I'm probably not going to wind them all today, but at least some of them. And I want to wind this fiber off of the spindle so I can start the next ply of the monster skein. So time to get winding.
I'd be scared of heights if I went on that.
Hey friends, so it's family date today. Again, it's gonna be family date weekend. We are at the beach and there's a drive-in movie happening today. It's Grease, the first one. Mara's very excited. Whatever, I'm here for the experience. It's cool. Don't really love Grease. If I'm honest, I like Grease 2 better. I brought books to read and I brought knitting to do, so I'll be fine.
Hola!
Are you excited?
See.
Excellent. Look who I found at the bathrooms changing because it's the time of summer.
And I also had to go to the bathroom.
Me too. It's the time of summer.
I like your shirt.
Where, can I get through my thought?
See.
It's the time of summer when you have to change when the sun goes down because the temperature actually drops. So exciting. I know, right? So exciting. You're
Yeah.
hilarious. Do you know that you're hilarious?
Yes.
The bathroom's behind us. We're just walking back to our car.
And Grease is over.
What did you think?
Amazing. My favorite song in that was the song Summer Nights.
My favorite song, I don't know what it's called. Rizzo sings it.
I think it is.
What's it called? Do you know?
I think what you said was it.
No, it's not called Rizzo Sings It. The Worst Thing I Could Do might be what it's called. That's probably my favorite. I didn't sing one of the songs and Patrick was like, what is going on? Are you tired? And I was like, no, I just don't like this song.
Summer Nights, I was dancing around and singing.
Yes.
I was super happy.
She was so excited.
Because it was my
I should have
favorite
gotten
song.
footage, but I didn't. All right, so here come the menfolk to pick us up. So I'll see you tomorrow. What are we eating, babe? Say it again.
Really good donut.
I got cinnamon.
The kids are eating cinnamon. He's eating, I don't know, maybe cinnamon or powder, and I'm eating all of the regular ones because I don't like powder or cinnamon. Do it again.
What?
Disconnect. Disconnect. This is the only ride Patrick and I are going on because it's too hot for me to go on. I'll start getting sick. I'll get a headache and stuff.
I know.
But the kids have been on a few, and they're going to be on for as many as they want. And
Mari's choosing the next one.
And Mari's choosing the next one. Hello, sunshines. It is Monday, but I'm going to close out the vlog for last week because yesterday we went to the Armada County Fair and the kids had such a good time, but I cannot handle hot. I cannot handle sunshine. And yesterday was like 86 degrees and sunny. So when we got home, I stayed up long enough to eat a very quick dinner, and then I slept from 5 p.m. until 1:30 a.m. and I've been up since. So yeah, it's I'll talk about that in next week's vlog. So it was a good week. I hope you enjoyed going on our adventures with us. I feel like we packed like an entire summer worth of stuff into 1 week. But the kids enjoyed it and it was good. I will see you next week. Bye!